My name is Saskia Jorda. I'm originally from Venezuela, and I consider Arizona my home right now. So my piece is titled As Above, So Below, and it's a kind of poetic gesture in a way. Visually it looks like an arch installed, floating in the space, and it is kind of a representation of imagining the sky being within reach. And so in this journey of the above, the cosmos coming down, I've used these lines from which to hang circular shapes. The circular shapes are a couple hundred of circles made out of fabric and embroidery. And so they're all actually made out of blue jeans and embroidered in white or a couple different colors. And so the idea behind the piece is reframing the way we perceive the skies and the cosmos and bringing them down so that we kind of change our perception. We're generally looking up at the sky, and I want it to feel like it was somehow within our reach. And I chose the multiple of the idea of the circle because we generally study and look and admire the cosmos and beyond through a circular lens. So I wanted to bring that idea of the circle and the circular lens as this window into this unknown. So it's a couple hundred circles. As I mentioned, they're made out of upcycled fabric, particularly jeans and denim fabric and denim insulation. So, and the idea with the denim, it's kind of, for me, it represents, in this day and age, a unifying material because it goes beyond cultures, gender, age. It's a material that is worn by people worldwide, regardless of their social status at this point. And so I wanted a material that kind of spoke of that universal aspect. I also wanted to bring a human component to it. So the stitching on each circle is bringing this idea of the human hand in it. And also a little bit of a metaphor about what's our human hand in how we treat our skies and what will eventually be our impact in our night skies. And let's see, what other visual elements? There's little pops of color. Those were mostly aesthetic, but also when you look at the sky, you do see a little bit of pink, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, and so I wanted that to travel throughout the piece. The piece is very open and kind of flowing, so the visitors can kind of walk around it. Because it is a metaphor for how we look at our skies, I am hoping that the viewer walks away with a different perception of what this mystery of the skies is, but parallel, the idea of switching our viewpoint on anything, not just on the skies, but what if we're looking at whatever the situation, the conflict, what if we look at it instead of from below, from above, or from a side, or so to me it's kind of a bigger idea of changing our perception and our window or our lens through which we observe, in particular the natural environment. So the title, As Above, So Below, can have many interpretations, but one of them was this idea of the micro and the macro, and things reflected from each other. And because we're bringing the sky down, I was thinking, but also the shadows on the ground are that other element. The piece could be the above and the floor drawing could be the below, or the piece could be the below and what's really happening above. And but also the idea of the dot, we are just these dots in the universe, and so we are this, each stitch is just a little person, and like dots in a map too, they sort of kind of disappear as you zoom out. So there's a little bit of that micro-macro relationship, and we are just these specks trying to understand this larger picture. So I kind of took the title that way, but yeah, there's all kinds of readings of it, and I hope that the viewer makes up their own readings too. And I think a lot of another theme that happens in my work is this kind of hopeful, hopeless dialogue. Things are not always, they seem within reach, but they're not really. I mean, this is sort of a fictional reaching up for the sky, but it's still a mystery. Even as much as we study it, there is still so much that will remain unknown. Yeah.